day, everyone. Eh, Good day, everyone. My name is Yong Xiang, and I'm here with my teammates, Jia Kamfong, Wei, and Daphne. Today, we will talk about a real case that happened in the gaming world, the Activision Blizzard scandal. This case is important because it shows serious problems like unfair treatment of women, harassment, and a bad work environment. It also taught us why companies must treat all workers with respect. Let us begin with the introduction. So for a long time, the gaming industry was mostly controlled by men. Many women who worked there were not treated fairly. They were often ignored, paid less, or harassed, and nothing was done about it. But in 2021, everything changed. The government in California sued Activision Blizzard. They say the company had a toxic workplace where women were treated badly. This news got a lot of attention. For the first time, many people listened to the women's stories. The gaming world had to stop and think about how badly some people were being treated. Because of this, workers protested, people spoke up, and other companies like Microsoft and Sony started looking at their own workplace too. This movement showed that when people work together and speak up, real change can happen. The Activision Blizzard case didn't happen in one day. Here's what happened step by step. In July 2021, the California government sued the company for treating women unfairly and letting harassment happen. And at the next day, the company said the lawsuit was wrong. This made people even more upset. And at the following week, over 2,000 workers signed a letter saying the company needed to change. Many of them walked out in protest. And in the next month, which is August 2021, the CEO hired a new law firm to check the company, but workers did not trust the firm. And in September 2021, another government group also sued the company. And in October 2021, some leaders, including the president of Blizzard, quit their job. And at the following year, which is January 2022, Microsoft said that they will buy Activision Blizzard and fix the work culture. And in March 2022, Activision Blizzard paid 18 million to settle one lawsuit. And at October 2023, Microsoft officially took over the company and brought in new leaders. This shows how people speaking up, taking action, and outside pressure can make big company change. Now I'm going to pass on to Chia Comfort to present ethical issue identification.
Hi everyone. So in this section, we want to highlight and explain the four major ethical issues that are in the Activision Blizzard case. So next, there was there will have four, which is workplace harassment and discrimination, leadership failure and lack of accountability, unsafe workplace environment, and the retaliation against whistleblower. Next, for the first workplace harassment and discrimination, the first and most serious issue was sexual harassment and gender discrimination. Female employees were reportedly subjected to inappropriate comments, unwanted touching, and even implicit jokes and behavior in the workplace. There were also accounts of women being passed over for promotions, being paid less than male colleagues, and even being pushed out of lactation rooms so men could have meetings. This behavior clearly violates the ACM and IEEE ethical codes, which emphasize treating all people fairly, respecting their dignity, and avoiding harm. The second one is lack of accountability and leadership failure. This issue was a complete failure in leadership. Many senior leaders knew about the misconduct but chose to ignore it. Some even defended the abuser or protected them because of their high performance. There was no system in place to hold wrongdoers accountable. This created a dangerous environment where people with power could act without consequences. According to the Software Engineering Code of Ethics, leaders are supposed to protect the public good and uphold professional integrity. But here, they did the opposite. The third, unsafe work environment. Activision Blizzard failed in its most basic responsibility, which is to provide a safe and respectful working environment. The office culture was described as a frat boy environment where inappropriate behavior was normalized. There were reports of events like the cube crawl, where drunk male employees would go around the office harassing women. This kind of environment is not only unsafe, it's unethical, unprofessional, and illegal. Every employee has the right to feel safe and respected at work, and Activision Blizzard failed to guarantee that. The last one is retaliation against whistleblowers. The company was accused of punishing employees who spoke out. Instead of being supported, whistleblowers were allegedly demoted, preferred, or fired. This kind of retaliation not only discourages victims from reporting unethical behavior but also creates a culture of fear and silence. The ACN harassment policy clearly states that retaliation is acceptable. Ethical organizations must protect those who stand up for what's right, but not punish them.
For a proposed solution for the ethical issue, the one of the proposed solution to address the workplace harassment is discrimination issues at Activision Blizzard are applied utilitarian and apply the ontological. Harassment at Activision Blizzard violate both utilitarian and deontological ethics. A respectful workplace increases well-being and productivity, while ethically everyone deserves dignity. The software engineering need to align with ACM and IEEE code to avoid harm, promote fairness, reject harassment, and the solution includes mandatory ethics trainings, DEI integration, and strong whistleblower support. The software engineering need to align with the software engineering also have the responsible to report misconduct, stand up for their colleagues, and reject discrimination even when it's difficult. And the leader must set the example by being ethical roles models and promoting transparency and accountability across all levels. Additionally, the leveraging tools like anti-harassment software and anonymous portal can help teams feel safe and empowered to report incidents. Next, for the proposed solution for the accountability and leadership failure to address this issue, the Activision Blizzard should create an independent ethics and compliance board with internal external members, regular audits and independent investigation for unethical behavior, mandatory ethics and leadership training using real-world case study, type the ethical metrics to perform reviews and promotion, and also foster the psychological safety to encourage open communication, use the audits, SG audits to monitor the progress and gain stakeholder trust. Next, for the proposed solution for the failure to provide a safe workplace, the Activision Blizzard should apply utilitarian and the ontological ethics. The policy-based solution including the zero tolerance for harassment, mandatory safety training for employees, having an independent, anonymous reporting system, and the leadership held accountable for inaction. Additionally, the required public records of disciplinary actions is needed. Next, for the final proposed solution is the retaliation against the whistleblower. To solve the issues, the Activision Blizzard should set up the third-party reporting platform that offers secure encryption and anonymous ways to report the wrongdoing. At the same time, we embedded a zero retaliation policy in the company codes of conduct, one that clearly defines that what retaliation look like, the layout, servers, consequence of violation. Besides, the company should provide legal aid, mental support, and career protection for their employees, and also conduct regulation, retaliation audits, and publish anonymous annual report showing report outcome and action taken. Additionally, the ethics education must also emphasize the importance of supporting whistleblowers. Finally, the company and software engineering need to align with global standards like ISO 37002. That's all for the solution parts. Next, I will pass to Mr. Simon to talk about the reflection.
So I'm going to talk about the reflection of this case study. This case showed that Activision Blizzard did not treat their workers the right way. Many women say they were harassed, paid less, and not given chances to grow in their jobs. Some even talk about keep clause where drug men advertised them inappropriately. When women reported these problems, they were ignored or punished. Leaders at the company knew what was happening, but they did not do anything to stop it. This is wrong. Every company should be a safe and fair place for everyone. Respect, fairness, and kindness should always come first. Now I'm going to pass on to Hui Tingwei to continue the reflection.
Activision Blizzard has clearly violated two main ethics, the first being utilitarianism and the second being deontological ethics. Utilitarianism means that making decisions that promote the most amount of happiness and benefits and minimize the amount of damage caused, while deontological ethics states that every individual has to be treated as their own individual and not as something that is disposable. Activision Blizzard has clearly failed on both fronts miserably through this massive scandal.
As future software engineers, we are guided by the software engineer codes of ethics, which tell us to avoid harm, be fair, and respect others' privacy. But in this case of Activision Blizzard, these principles were clearly broken. The company failed to stop harassment and even punish those who report it, directly violating ethical responsibility like protecting others and acting with integrity. Promotion were based on favoritism and retaliation, not merit, which undermines fairness and professionalism. At the same time, we saw ethical courage from employees who spoke up despite the risk. That's the kind of integrity we should aim to uphold in our own careers. This scandal reminds us that ethics isn't just about codes, it's about standing up for what's right and creating safe, respectful workplace for everyone. So I will pass to the Miss Stephanie.
A central issue in the Activision Blizzard case is the failure of leadership. Executive neglect repeated reports of harassment and discriminations, demonstrating a clear breakdown in ethical responsibility and professional duty. By ignoring the system issues, they breach employee trust and fail to uphold fundamental standards of organization accountability. Another important group involved in the software engineering and developers, the Software Engineer Code of Ethics emphasizes acting in the public interest and upholding integrity responsibilities that go beyond writing code to include maintaining ethical workplace. Ultimately, the Activision Blizzard scandals highlight the profound ethical obligations of professionals in the tech industry. The action and inaction of leadership and employees are morally indefensible from both a utilitarian and deontological perspective. Go forward, the industry must prioritize ethical accountability, inclusive workplace practices, and ongoing education to ensure that such misconduct is never repeated. That's all for reflect, uh, the reflective part. Now let me pass to Mr. Kwek Ding Wei to have our conclusion.
In conclusion, Activision Blizzard has thoroughly violated and disregarded the code of ethics that was set by ACM and IEEE, as can be clearly seen by this scandal. Their actions have caused the industry to be put under even closer scrutiny, especially after the massive layoffs that have taken place during that time. This has also reminded the industry to have more decency and be better to their employees. The gaming industry and any industry in general as a whole need to etch this lesson into their minds to cultivate a healthier, normal working environment that will be able to satisfy the workers so they can produce higher quality products. This in turn will also improve customer satisfaction as they receive the high quality products made by loving staff and satisfied staff. That will be all for our presentation on this software engineering ethics assignment. Thank you very much.